Hello, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Today is the ladder reset, so that means we are trying our hardest, going to get up to Mythic once again. And well, to do that, let's try out some mono red. If you can continue to help the channel grow, please do subscribe up, leave a comment. What are you playing this ladder season? And of course, please like the video. So let's talk a little bit about the deck and then we'll hop into some games. This is of course mono red, but I am not playing a straight up mono red deck. We're doing something a little bit different. We're playing an Ojer Deppest Might version of this deck, and this card is pretty unique. I have never tried it before, but I know it has had some success in other people's decks. It is a 4/4 for 4 god, and this says trample. If a red source you control would deal an amount of non-combat damage less than Ojer's power to an opponent, that source deals damage equal to Ojer's power instead. So this deck is kind of built around this card right here. We have a few cards that synergize really well with it. The first one being the Hired Claw. Of course, you know when you attack in with the Hired Claw, it deals 1 damage to target opponent. If Ojer's on the field, it's going to be dealing 4 damage instead. We are also playing 4 copies of Magebane Lizard. This card, it says, whenever a player casts a non-creature spell, this creature deals damage to that player equal to the number of non-creature spells they've cast this turn. So if they cast 1 instant or sorcery spell, it's going to deal 1 damage, but if Ojer is on the field, it's going to deal 4 damage instead. Then if they cast another one, it would normally deal 2 damage because it kind of goes out, it escalates 1, 2, 3, 4, but up until number 4 or whatever, it's going to be dealing 4 damage, 4 damage, 4 damage, 4 damage, and then eventually 5 damage if it ever reaches that point, but it's never going to get there. Now this is a non-symmetrical effect. Ojer does say if a source would deal non-combat damage to an opponent, so it doesn't hurt us. Magebane Lizard is a symmetrical effect, so we have to be careful about casting our non-creature spells. Then we are also playing 4 copies of the Razorkin Needlehead. This one says whenever an opponent draws a card, deal 1 damage to them, so it'll deal 4 damage instead. There's one more card in the deck that does kind of work with Ojer. That is the Screaming Nemesis. Whenever Screaming Nemesis is dealt damage, it will deal that much damage to another target. So let's say the Screaming Nemesis gets hit for 1. It blocks, they chump block with a 1/1. Instead of dealing 1 damage to the opponent, if Ojer's on the field, it will deal 4. So that's the kind of the core behind the deck. Otherwise, it's just playing things that you would expect it to be playing. Emberheart Challenger, Nova Hellkite. We have some direct damage with Lightning Strike and Burst Lightning, which also get a little bit more powerful with Ojer on the field. So, I'm going to jump into some best of 1 games and see how Ojer performs, if it is in fact a little bit better than the other mono red decks that you are seeing on the ladder. All right, our first game of the season. Just woke up. Season has reset and we're getting on the ladder. We're gonna get frisky, and we got our double Razorkin Needlehead. I'm very curious to see how this card actually works out in practice. This is more of like a sideboard card, so it's a little bit weird to be playing it main board, but nowadays maybe it can end up working out in best of 1. We're gonna find out if the Needlekin is in fact gonna be a good card. We have 3 of them in hand against our opponent who is on Demir. They might be finding some extra cards. It's possible that this could do some work. While the opponent reads the Needlehead, do subscribe up if you skipped the intro. I did the whole spiel there, but yeah, continue to help this wee little channel grow if you can. So, we could go out Screaming Nemesis, or we could run out the one of the Needlekin. That's a little bit of a tricky one. I don't know what I want to do here. You know what? I think I'm just going to go out with the Needlekin this turn. We're going to attack in. Boom. They don't have anything. Okay. We'll get 2 of these on the field. Maybe they have a counter spell here. They don't have removal. It would have triggered. So they have Dispelling Exhale. That's fine. We are playing possibly a Dragon's deck. Isn't that a Behold card? As an additional cost to cast this spell, Behold a Dragon. They didn't Behold a Dragon, though. And so it was just 2. Weird. Okay. Withering Torment. They're down to already 12 damage. We missed on the Cool Thing. So now I guess it's probably fine just to get in, the Cool Thing being a land. I don't know why that would be. The idea here was that I wanted a land so that maybe I could have the Witchstalker's Frenzy up, but I don't have enough attacking creatures in right now. It's irrelevant, but that's where my mind was at. Okay, we will attack in. Let's see what they do with this 3 mana nothing. Wow. So, I could put out the Higher Claw, I could put out the Razorkin, I could also do Opera Love Song to try to find 2 cards. You know what I think it is? It's probably going to be Higher Claw. I think they're sitting on a lot of counter magic. Oh, okay. They're digging. Interesting, interesting. So, what are we looking to do? I think we're probably looking to end of turn, on their turn, Opera Love Song, find a few more cards, maybe one of our lands. We are playing 23 lands in the deck, healthy amount of lands. Instead, they have the Villainous Wrath. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we take a couple points of damage. That's what it is. Let's do this. And we find the Ojer. Well, we find the Screaming Nemesis. Wow, not the greatest hits, but okay, we go out with this. Another 3 damage, and we're kind of set up for maybe a Needlekin plus Burst Lightning is 3 damage. In theory, they have to deal with this Screaming Nemesis this turn. We could also just Magebane plus Burst Lightning in the other order, so we're not going to take extra damage, of course. But this, you know what, this must be a mill deck, is what the opponent's on here. 5 mana. I think Rupture is 6 mana. So they have the Meringue River Regent. They draw. I wish I kind of had the Needlehead was on the field there. Dang. And we got them. All right. So pretty good opening game there. The Needlehead did quite a bit of damage to the opponent before they really realized it. They were down to like 14 health. So maybe there's something to it. All right. Keep on climbing. See how far we can get through Platinum here. These days, I'm kind of taking a different approach to the ladder, and I'm not really pushing myself to climb the ladder as quickly as possible. We got a whole month. You know, if you climb to... Ooh, okay, I was going to go out with the Emberheart Challenger, but now that I see that it's this, we're going to go out with the Magebane. If you climb to the Mythic within the first couple days or first week of the ladder, which is something that I used to do, kind of leaves you with not a whole lot to do for the rest of the month. So I think I'm at a point where I'm going to chill and take it easy. You know, if I climb, I climb, and that's it. And then once you get into late week 2, week 3, then you can maybe start looking into doing, pushing a little bit harder. But reaching Mythic, what do you get an extra pack? The amount of stress that it can cause you when you're climbing the ladder. I'm sure all of you know it. Some people get really frustrated, myself included. All right, Summon Fenrir, do not mind that. They missed their land, I think. So let's play out the Rockface Village. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on this little Emberheart Challenger. See what we draw. Okay, I'd rather use this Lightning Strike on the Summon Fenrir. It's there. I don't need to use the Burst Lightning. We're going to get in for 8 damage. Put the opponent in a really bad spot. Boom, boom, boom. Nice fast games. That's what you want to see, especially against a River Turn Monument. Get that out of here. But no Ojer. We want to see Ojer hitting the field. Maybe in the next one. All right, this time Pariah. Sure. And we got a Hired Claw, a Magebane, and enough mana to cast our Ojer when we draw it. That's what you want to see. And we get to go first. Sounds good to me. Okay, opponent on a mulligan down to 5. Pretty rough. But it happens. You know, everybody experiences that from time to time. They might be on mono red. Okay, let's attack in with the Hired Claw. I think I'm okay going out Magebane. I wonder how many times I'm going to... I always say main Beige. I mix these up. I don't know. Am I dyslexic to a degree? I'm not sure. They have the Sunbillow Verge, kind of making me think that they might have a Lightning Helix, in which case... Oh. I did not expect that. Virtue of Loyalty. Are they going to block up? Okay, well, we'll take that easy trade there. Virtual Loyalty is a very cool card. I really like all the virtues, but I don't see them play that much. And then the art on this Knight token. Woohoo! What art that is. They had the Sacred Foundry coming in tapped. So I clicked through that too bad. I meant to load this fella up. We'll do it. We'll do it after. We missed 1 point of damage because I was clicking too carelessly, but it is what it is. If that 1 point of damage ends up, oh no. If it ends up biting me in the butt, well, we'll see. What does this hit? This hits that, which triggers the Magebane, but we can blast this fella. We do take a little damage, it's fine. But then it stops their Atali's favor, and is that what that's called? Favor, yeah. Am I actually 1 point of damage short? No, I have enough. We have enough damage. Okay. Cool. So stopped the Discover deck from destroying us. Very nice. And we're 3-0. Okay. Let's keep rolling with this. Oh. Of course mono red feels good. Of course it feels good. Maybe best of 3 ends up being a little bit slower, so cards like Ojer have a little bit more impact in those games. Best of 1, you run through the game so quickly, maybe there's just not a whole lot of a point of running this higher end. Like, I really want Ojer to be kind of a cool card, but maybe it's just not necessary. Anyways, this hand looks awesome. Higher Claw into the Lizard, Magebane Lizard into Screaming Nemesis, and then go from there. A High Noon from the opponent. Okay, that could end up being kind of annoying for us. It makes doing, Screaming Nemesis into Burst Lightning a little bit trickier, but it's probably fine. We have a lot of instant speed stuff, and this Magebane Lizard might actually be the bane of Chaos D. Ooh, okay. Yeah, let's run it out. I have a feeling it's going to run into a counterspell, but at least this Lizard will deal 1 point of damage, then we get in for 3 more damage. Consult the star charts. Whoa, I did not expect that. What are they going to peel with one mana open? I'm sorry, I shouldn't say peel. Peel is one of these bad words that a friend of mine constantly teases me about. So when we are messing around and talking on Discord and that, I get teased, and it hurts my feelings. He teases me about saying the word peel, and he says things like, oh, if I just peel a land here, if we peel a land here, and but I guess I do say it in that way. It's fine. It's in the vernacular of a Magic the Gathering player. Hey, 4 in a row. The High New player couldn't handle it. Oh, when they cast the Consult the Star Charts, they actually couldn't cast anything else off of the Sacred Foundry, so they were taking that damage, and then they had to deal with this. They had to deal with a follow-up Screaming Nemesis. It's just so obnoxious. What a deck we got going here. Man, it's always nice to play mono red. It feels good. Now, this is our first hand that things are looking a little bit questionable, but we do have a good turn 2. We have the Burst Lightning to maybe hold off something that the opponent is up to. And yeah, we'll go from there. If this Burst Lightning can take out an Emberheart Challenger, which kind of feels that way. No. Okay. Well, we'll hold on to that card, and I guess we run out our Magebane Lizard. In theory, they could do Burst Lightning, Burst Lightning. That would take 3 damage and 2 cards to get rid of it, but maybe they could do that. I don't think it would be the wisest thing. The 4 toughness on that Lizard is really, really something. So they have their Screaming Nemesis coming in which case maybe we just do our Screaming Nemesis and get into a little bit of a Rochambeau match here. Start just wailing on each other and see who dies first. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, the Ojer would have been kind of neat. What do you do here now? Do you Opera Love Song to try to find a land? Or do you... Because we're going to take way too much damage. I could also just run in another 4 damage, plus the burst lightning on the following turn, but this Magebane is going to deal 2 extra damage, so that puts me in a very nasty place. I could hold back the Magebane Lizard to block one of these Screaming Nemesis. Sorry, opponent. What a sticky situation. I think... Oh, man. I think I'm going to go this way. I think I'm going to try to push the damage. Even though that takes me down to 10, I'm going to deal 8 damage here. Take them down to 8. And then hopefully they can't finish me off this turn. No, 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 no. So if they have a Burst Lightning, it's... no, it's over. It's over. Yeah, no matter what, because they're going to cast, or I have to cast something, and it's just going to kill me, right? But maybe they have a Burst Lightning to get me here. Okay, shock. I'm going out on my own sword. All right. What are you going to do? Screaming Nemesis Tribal. Sometimes they just go 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5 with the Screaming Nemesis on the play. So, dropping our first game against the Mirror, I guess that's appropriate. You are going to run into the mono red people. It is what it is. Okay, we actually have 1, 2, 3, 4. That's kind of cute, but I would prefer this to be a lizard. Man, that lizard, the turn 1 lizard is just insane. I'm forgetting what its name is. Give me the Magebane. Ooh, we don't hit it. All right, so the opponent's got a little bit of an opportunity to find some answer for our Screaming Nemesis here. Hopefully they don't have counter magic for it, but I think we got to run it out. I kept this hand because I saw the Ojer, and you kind of like think, I really want to hit this to hit the field, but unfortunately, it's not going to be hitting the field with anything to do. There's our Higher Claw. Well, I guess we put it out. They gain 1 life. And if this survives, our Burst Lightning and Lightning Strike deal a little bit extra damage. That's kind of cool. What I can do next turn is play Hired Claw and then Rock Face, give it haste for a little bit of... No, I can't, because this is here. Double Authority of the Consuls, and that is real bad for us. So, of course, we get in for 4 damage. And this feels really bad because what's going to happen here is we're going to get hit with a board wipe. So the Magebane is going to deal 4 extra damage to the opponent, but is that really enough? Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. Boom, 4 damage to the dome. Okay. Now you wish you put out the Higher Claw. Who could have known that running everything out was the answer? They scry 1 Temple of Enlightenment. I think what I do is I fire off this Lightning Strike, right? It deals 1 damage to us, but it deals 4 damage to the opponent. Okay. We get in for 5 damage here, and then we would have had another 8 damage in hand from these Burst Lightnings. Cool. Just, okay, Ojer, powerful. Even, let's say we had a worse hand. We take them down to 6. If they do one thing against us, they do like a board wipe, whatever, it's going to take 4 damage down to 2, and then in theory, if we have a bad hand, maybe we have a land to put out, we could play the Soulstone Sanctuary to finish them off. Like there were, okay, Ojer, when it's on the field with one of these cards that does 1 damage is crazy. Kind of cool to actually see the card we put in the deck do the thing, do something. Ooh, okay. 1, 2, and then we have some removal. I think that's fine. The deck is a little bit light on ways of triggering Emberheart Challenger, which is fine. It's really just a 2/2 with haste and prowess. That's good enough. The Valiant ability on it is pretty great, but it's not necessary to make it great. But if we have the land, the Rock Face Village, or if we have Opera Love Song, something like that, we can trigger it in various ways. Okay, no more lands though, and if we do get a land, please make it a utility land, please. We don't need any more mountains. Opponent, turn 1 Godless Shrine. Are they playing a Sephiroth Aristocrats type deck? Oh, that's bad. I could run out the Emberheart Challenger. I could also just Hired Claw. I think it's fine to do this. They probably have a Shoot the Sheriff, so they'll hit the Emberheart Challenger with the Shoot the Sheriff. Hired Claw can live. Okay, long goodbye. Is what it is. We get in for 2 damage, and this might be a GG based on our deck. I know it's calling it a little bit early, but when you draw 5 lands playing mono red, when you draw 6 lands playing mono red, it's kind of like the game has decided that it's time for you to not win one. Definitely feels that way at times, doesn't it? Like they go first, and then you draw land. It's like, I know, it's tinfoil hat, fun conspiracy stuff, and I know it's just actually variance, so you have to stop yourself from actually thinking to the contrary, but it's definitely hard to get it out of your mind. It's like, we were on a hot streak. This game feels real bad the way the variance is coming out. But you shouldn't feel that way. You shouldn't think that way whatsoever, even though you want to. The opponent having 2 long goodbyes that consult the star charts to go find their perfect card in the top 4, and us with no creatures is probably going to make things real bad for the rest of this game. They have a Terminus of Return, a Soulstone. Exile a creature you control, return Harness Terminus. So what is Harness? Once harnessed, this power permanent's origins activate. So you get this at the beginning of your upkeep, return target card from your graveyard to the battlefield, whatever. It's just a Soulstone, or just a mana rock. Well, that's not the worst card that we could draw. Hopefully they have nothing else. I have to imagine that this is kind of like a mill deck. So we're probably going to get hit with any number of things. There's the Rupture, sure. Boom, we mill. Hopefully we mill all of our lands. Honestly, that looked like a lot of it's pretty even distribution. Let's fire off the Lightning Strike. They're not playing any creatures, so why not? We get another Magebane. Okay. Oh, I did say it right. And hopefully it's not just Monument into milling us the rest of the way. I think they need 6 mana to do that, right? 2 and then 4 to activate the Exhaust. And they have 6 mana. Oh, okay. They're taking a turn off here. Okay, let's run out the Screaming Nemesis. We're gonna fight it. We're gonna try our best. Let's see if we do 4 damage here. Maybe it's 7 mana and they were just waiting 1 turn. A stab. Ooh, okay, so they take 1 less damage in theory by doing the stab. Which, hey, one extra life is all you need to stay alive, right? A split up. All right. Yeah. You know what? Last turn, maybe I should have Witch Stalker Frenzied. It's fine. Okay. So they don't have it though, and we got this. We attack in. We deal that damage, and let's put them to it. And maybe they have do they have a removal? They have a negate. Oh, okay, okay. It's down. Okay, Get Lost is pretty good. We need another Hasty Boy. Okay, I think probably I fire this off right now. 4 damage. Do they have another negate? Crazy, crazy, crazy. They're sitting on double negate. Okay. That's good. That gives us a target for our map. And then if they hit something like Consult to Start, okay, we keep the old Screaming Nemesis right on top. 1 damage to the face. What did they draw? Yes! Oh, it feels good. Wow, I can't believe that we actually ended up getting there on that one. I thought it was over with the amount of lands that we drew, but they just, huh. I mean, they had a lot of removal, but to be fair, they drew a good number of lands. This didn't do anything for them, and we just did enough poke damage here and there to take them down. Awesome, awesome. Love getting the win against Mill. Pack time? We're opening packs a lot these days. I like it when I have the mastery pass going, so I get some reward packs after doing some matches. I didn't have 4 Braco. Cool. Yeah, more Braco. I do want to play Golgari mid-range deck with Braco because I think it's a pretty neat card. We'll see. And then Explosive Getaway. What's this card? Exile up to 1 target artifact or creature. Return to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. Explosive Getaway deals 4 damage to each creature. Oh, that's cute. Okay. I like the theme of that card at the very least. Alright, so Ojer Burn proving that it is pretty good, but is it really Ojer Burn that's pretty good, or is it these 2 columns that are, well, these 3 columns, let's not discount the Screaming Nemesis. This is the real hero of Mono Red right now. There's a lot of power in these early lanes when you're playing out turn 1 Higher Claw into a turn 2 Emberheart Challenger into a turn 3 Screaming Nemesis. Of course it's good, right? That's fantastic. How is the opponent going to keep up? Do you really need Ojer? Probably not. It's kind of cute. It works really well with the Magebane Lizard and the Razorkin Needlehead and the Higher Claw if you can get them going. But in the 7 games that you watched, we only kind of really got it going once, and it only really did one little tick of damage, right? If you have these creatures on the field, you're kind of already winning, right? Like you have your opponent locked down so hard already. Do you really need the Magebane or the Razorkin to deal 4 damage? Probably not. Now, if you're playing best of 3, maybe I could see this being a little bit better with some tech cards that you can bring in games 2 and 3. Maybe the games run a little bit longer. You're using your removal to take out creatures. Also, you're fighting against VV, so they have a lot of interaction, so you might not be able to keep these creatures on the board. But in best of 1, I don't know. Maybe you just run your normal mono red package and you just keep rolling over your opponent, put in as many games as you can and climb to Mythic that way. But if you are looking for something a little bit different, some new flavor, I think Ojer is kind of cool. At the very least, it's a cool card. And he looks kind of rad. Like, what is it? He got like a big dragon for an arm? That's sweet. Anyways, that's it for this video. This is the Friday video, so do please enjoy your weekend, have a good time, and of course, sarang aga. Bye-bye for now. See you in the next one.